Hey legends, how y'all doing? And this is Mike, the guy who's late to every pop culture party. All right, let's start this reaction because this is gonna be a long one. But this video should be numbers 60 through 59, and the next one twos, twos, and twos onward. Let's get this started. I ain't gonna survive this. I know it.
Up next.
Chicken Little.
Fuck! I'm gonna keep this brief, because I really do want to make a full-on cinematic disaster review of this movie. And I know I say that I'm gonna do a full review on a lot of movies, only to end up procrastinating and never getting to them. But there are very few movies I feel as passionately about as Chicken Little. This movie is just so awful that it's kind of remarkable. Like, this would have been the second or third worst movie in my Illumination ranking. It's that hilariously pathetic. Nothing about it works. Sometimes there's a rare funny joke or the occasional epic as shit character like Morcupine Porcupine, who's probably the greatest character in Walt Disney Animation Studios history. But the film is just so morally and creatively bankrupt on every level. Every character is a horrible, unlikable prick, except for the main characters who are just fodder for cheap, quote-unquote jokes. Ha ha, the pig is fat. Let's all laugh at him for being fat.
A common trope for depictions of pigs in media, and
The duckling is ugly.
first of all, the main characters of this movie is very on the nose with outsiders, the ones who are bullied on, outcasts, but that, like, yes, many movies do this, but few movies, at least to me, have gone to this extent, and to have the characters look so off of main character looking that it works in this movie's favor. Having Chicken Little be so short, or glasses, all that nerdy, having Abby be the ugly duckling, and having Runt be big, wide, and fat, that adds to the character. You get a sense of who these characters are, or why they're so connected.
It's funny how ugly she is.
Isn't it funny? My favorite part is when stupid-ass Buck Cuck basically says, "Gee, son, I never realized that emotionally distancing myself from you when you needed me the most was a bad thing. Sorry, ooh-woo."
That's bad parenting, and I should know.
Shut the fuck up! How are you this dense and awful? Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that siding with the people who are publicly humiliating your son is a bad thing. Also, I hope you like pop songs, because there sure are a lot of those in this movie.
And you got a problem with that too? Like, bro, then what do you... Then, okay, then eventually when I get to his DreamWorks ranking, I wonder how he feels about Trolls, because Trolls does pop music and multiple common, like very common popular songs at the time. I wonder how he feels about Trolls. Anyway, and then for Buck Cluck, yes, his actions throughout the movie up until the third act is horrendous. It's the fact that he got called out for it face to face with his son, because honestly, in real life, yes, we would want him to be humiliated out in public. We want the public to call him out for it. True, but that doesn't commonly happen. So having that one-on-one with Chicken Little and Buck was rather cathartic, because I am certain at least many kids have had a moment when they wanted to go off on their parent, whether it be for positive reasons or negative reasons. But Chicken Little going off and opening himself fully to Buck, that is at least to me, a cathartic moment, because some parent dynamics is like, you can't see yourself opening yourself to that level. Not even if you were mad, you don't feel like you can open yourself up to that level that Chicken Little did. And there are some people who do have these rose tinted glasses or complete blindfolds over their eyes, where it's like their actions make sense to them. A big point from cinema therapy. People's actions make sense to them, but the second you put them in front of a mirror or put it in another context, they see how bad it is. As a Christian, I'll use an example. Well, King David. I'll use King David as an example. He took advantage of a married woman and set the husband up to die in war, or tried to hide it to the best of his ability. And then when he was called out about it by a prophet using a illustration that he would understand as a shepherd, he got the full weight of what he did. He had to be shown on an equivalent of what he did in a context that he could understand. And so some people need that. Some people need to either have their actions be spelled out right in front of them to see what happened, what they did was wrong, or seeing that thing happen in another context, because some people are so stuck in their ways they cannot see what they're doing is causing a negative effect. Yes, Bud Cluck in this movie is very much a people pleaser. He's very much a people pleaser. He doesn't like being in the center of controversy. He doesn't like conflict. And it cost him greatly in his relationship with his son.
Most of them with no rhyme or
reason, even though the movie thinks they're a good substitute for jokes. When Chicken Little tells the pig, "We will survive," he then starts singing, "I will survive." That's funny. That's
If
such
you
a
know-
funny joke. I hate this stupid ass movie. Every time I watch it, I'm just baffled at how badly it turned out. That's part of the reason why I want to do a full
I
review
knew
on it,
this man
because the
would-
story of its troubled production.
I knew this man would hate it. I had a feeling he'd hate it.
I hate this stupid ass movie.
I'll give it to him that the marketing of this movie, like the posters and stuff, it made it seem like this movie was gonna be an animated Men in Black, down to the main title poster, and the whole thing with Porcupine. The whole thing with Porcupine being in the poster is a whole nother thing that makes me upset. But whatever. But because this is part of my childhood, and because I could relate to Chicken Little in some ways. I enjoy this movie a lot, and this man saying it's one of the worst, and I think it's YouTuber Brian Hull, where he said this was the worst movie Disney ever made. I'm like, excuse me, sir. So
Every time I watch it, I'm just baffled at how
badly it turned out. That's part of the reason why I want to do a full review on it, because the story of its troubled production is just so sad. Almost as sad as the movie, but not quite. Stupid ass movie that feels like it came from the studio that made Norm of the North, not this one that made actual masterpieces in the past. Anyway, I can't wait to talk about those masterpieces, but first we gotta trudge through more shit. So let's get moving.
What's more, I disagree with the Chicken Little ranking. Where I would put it, once we get to the better stuff, it probably have to go down. But I'm probably better off starting at the bottom. Like, if I do a tier ranking of my own, I'd probably start at the bottom of the like how he's doing it, the bottom of the list, starting there, like using the movies that he placed and going from there. Like Dinosaur, I said in my previous video, Dinosaur I probably put at least in the top 50. I put it in the top 50. Chicken Little I probably also put it starting off in the top 50. And as we keep going, movies will probably go down and up. of as I go through. So, Chicken Little, one, the music, I like the score. Or one little slip, amazing. Bro, how? Okay, he mentions the pop music, but he doesn't also mention the other song choices in here, like All I Know. Oh, like All I Know. That is that emotional song in that specific part of the film, dang near tear jerk worthy. Then there's all right, oh man, stir it up for the baseball montage. Like you can't sit here. Like to me, you can't sit here and say that the soundtrack choice is bad for the movie because this movie makes it work. And at least for me, Chicken Little is a big resound to me a good resounding movie for people who've been bullied, forgotten, neglected, outcasted from either school, society, or their own family. The one that probably does it even better, the movie that likely does it even better would be Encanto in the specific example of Mirabel. But I would feel Chicken Little is more like if you were ostracized from school, your family, or society, and you also had friends around you that were the same. So, do I think the movie could be better? Yeah, if it was more in line with the marketing, and I think Chicken Little was supposed to get a sequel. I think it was supposed to, and I would honestly, I would have wanted to see that. I would have wanted to see that, but and if it was more like if it was more of a actual and like Disney version of Men in Black, that to me that would have been sweet. It would have been sweet.